Drywallers, shot callers, and everyone in between. Drywall fighting. It's time for UFC Paris, baby. We're back. A little bit of a hiatus, a week off. I start doing the self harm if I'm away from the fights for too long. But let's just dive right in. I'm so excited to get into these fights. We've got Nasruddin Imavov, Caio Borralho. Should be a great one. I want to click into the poster here. We're in Paris. I haven't showered since the last fight card, just so we can fit in with some of these guys who are going to be fighting tomorrow. I don't want to make it a tradition to post so late. I do think that I'm the final say in all of content creation of MMA. Everybody knows this. We are the big tree that never stops. But sometimes the views get affected. But who says we do that shit for the accolades or the numbers? We do this because destiny was written one day. Let's start it off. Shauna Bannon taking on Sam Hughes. This is going to be a simple one for me. I think that Shauna Bannon's days of getting judges to just look the other way and have like a crush on her, those days are done. Those days are done, especially against a vet, a real grinder, a real punisher. Sam Page Hughes. She's a baller. I think she's going to dominate her. She could even finish her. I could see a choke here. What are the odds? What do we think here? What do we think? Oh, do we? Look at that. 2 streams going. Great. What are the odds? Oh, let's just get all the technical malfunctions. Obviously, we employ hundreds of thousands of people. Top of the line production over here. But what are the odds? What are the odds? Sam Hughes minus 500. Wow, minus 300. Let's talk about our bets. This is a greater value, better choice. This is a blue chip stock. This is what you're getting here. You're going to send your kid to the Ivy League and he'll never have to be poor ever again. So it's a simple minus 340 for this. Come on. I like that. I really like that. How do I think that she finishes her? I do think that she chokes her out. Maybe I just want this to happen. Maybe this is just wishful thinking. The set's getting remodeled. We're renting out spaces in LA and New York. If you're having any questions about some of the new setup, why we're posting late, where some of the content for the news has been, don't worry. It's because we're flooding. We're putting all the capital back. We're reinvesting it back into the business. We dropped a movie. Check that out. Doghouse. It's on the page. Collaboration with No Cap God. On God, No Cap. That's our guy. No Cap on God. That's our boy. I love him. And we're going to keep working. We're going to keep making shit happen. But yeah, tune in for when we have the New York and LA sets. $500,000 lease. Going to be amazing. Let's move on. Rinat Fakhretdinov taking on Andreas Gustafsson. This is an interesting fight. I really haven't looked through these yet. So I'm really coming into this blind. Andreas Gustafsson, man, he came into the UFC. I doubted him, but man, I can't doubt his pharmacist. His pharmaceutical team, they do miracles. And he came in and he smushed Chaos Williams. Chaos had no answers for him. Bad look for Chaos these last 2 fights, the Bonfim strangling and then this. Renat has fought too many he's fought too many dogs. Let's look at Renat. He's fought Chase Hooper. He fought Yantop, right? No, he didn't fight Yantop. Carlos Ayala, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one that I cannot believe he won, though. But Renat fights some dogs, dude, and he seems to find ways. Just look at some of these names. Brian Battle, Kevin Lee, and why did I say Renat fought? I'm confusing him with Slava Claus. Yeah. But yeah, Fakhretdinov has a resume for himself. Nicholas Dalby, he's just been able to handle him. This is a tough fight for Andreas. I am going to ride with Renat, even though I can see some wear and tear possibly being an issue here. I just don't think that Gustafsson, if he faces a guy that knows how to throw in, some sweeps, some reverses, I don't know if he does have the gas tank. I don't know if you have enough, certified board doctors to help you get into those after that 10-minute mark and really do well. So I am going to like Fakirtidov. I could see Andres Gustafsson keeping it close, maybe winning the first round. That's probably a pick 'em. Jesus. All right, there we go. That's our first candidate for dog barking off the collar. That's our second bet. That's going to be, your underdog, your typical underdog, kind of close. Okay. All right. This is what happens. This is what happens when you're also an enemy of the state, when you have state surveillance, afraid of how you're going to turn the wheels of history. So, anyways, I am going to go. I think that Renat's a good value here. I just think that a guy with only 2 fights now in the UFC, this is going to be his second one. It's too much. And Renat's a gamer. Renat will take it wherever, and he'll put it back on the feet, and then I think he'll have a marked advantage there. Let's move on. Brad Tavares taking on Robert Brezek. This is actually, dude, Brezek is like, I thought he was out of the UFC. Because I only see the guy lose. I've only seen him lose. Yeah, and then he did not look impressive. Yeah, against Ihor Potieria. I thought I was remembering that wrong. I'm like, why am I so down on him? Why am I like, oh, this guy? And I'm not saying Ihor is like, Ihor is a tough man. Ihor has had to fight some absolute dogs, and he makes no qualms about it. However, the way that he beat on Robert, if you know about Ihor's skills offensively, that was kind of embarrassing. So this is a good fight for Brad, and Brad has been looking better. Brad shocked me recently. Was it Gerald? Yeah. I did not think he was going to beat Gerald. It looks like his chin is back, because also against the Iron Turtle, Jun Young Park, he was able to take some shots. So Brad is still a volatile asset, not willing to go full steam ahead here with Brad, but I think he's probably a minus 200. Minus 218. Makes sense. That might be a better. Now, Sam Hughes is a better. Shauna Bannon, it's like, I just don't know. Some of the fighters, I really wonder what's going on with it. I think he decisions him. I don't know if Brad's got it like that anymore. But let's move on. Sam Patterson against Trey Waters? Oh my God! I didn't realize it. Oh, this is awesome. Oh my God, this is awesome, bro. He could take it to the ground, but I think Trey's too big for him. Oh my God, this is amazing. We get to watch Sam Patterson get put out cold again. Oh my God, please give me good odds on this. Oh, if Sam Patterson is a favorite. I do think Trey Waters will be like a minus 170. That I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking. First, this is just, oh my God, this is, yes, clear. We might have to have 4 bets. Because this is clear out the bank account, honey. Clear out the fucking bank account, honey. Bet of the week. Because Trey Waters, let's start off with the Trey, because let's start off with the good things in life, right? Trey Waters, look at his fight against Billy Goff. Just go watch that fight. Oh my God. And watch his Contender Series fight. He is just, he did lose against Von Thiem. Yeah, but he is a dog. I forgot. That's why I remember that, because I was like, oh, this guy kind of was like a physical specimen, and then Von Thiem took him down. But just go watch his fight against Billy Goff and tell me that this is not a psychopath. Someone who bends the fabric of reality with his toughness and with his psychotic pressure. I am a Trey Waters truther, and I think that this is, if he does him dirty, if he does him like a dog, Trey Waters is gonna join the drywall family. I'm just gonna be fast to it like that, because Brian Battle's gone, and I need another just mixed race psychopath that we paint our nails together and smoke cigarettes and break skateboards over nerds' heads. That's what I need. That's what I need. Not to mention all the pickpocketing and, petty theft. Petty theft. Trey Waters is petty theft. That's a great, oh my God, that's awesome. I do think, no, dude, Sam Patterson gets put out in the first round. I guess we could talk about Sam Patterson. He's kind of after he got sparked by Ashmuz, he's been on a little bit of a streak, right? Nothing crazy, right? Like Nesi and Barlow, Crosby, like that. Some of these, Danny Barlow, hand up, hand to God, right hand to God, right hand to God. I was a Danny Barlow truther, but no. I'm glad that Sam Patterson showed me how little I should expect from him. Let's move on. Let's just move on. Caio Fernandez against Harry Hardwick. I have not watched much of Harry Hardwick. I know he's British, and I don't like that against a favela street cat like Caio. I think Caio he's a psychopath as well. He's also a guy that I can pull up a white plastic chair, throw back some caipirinhas, put on the a favela music, put on those mixes, and just not even look at the clock for a few days, just chilling. But I that's just not a good combination for a British guy with low melanin, hasn't ever seen the sun really, and I think that this is an easy one to pick. Caio minus 300. Oh wow, that is crazy. I want to click that just because Sam Hughes is a little steep, and I don't know what else is on the card, but Caio minus 170. I don't like this, though. Why don't they have any other bets on there? Is this going to get canceled or something? These guys, I tell you. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty simple. I do like Caio. I don't know why the odds are that close. That might actually be my greater value, better choice pick. I could see him knocking him out. I'm going into this blind. I know what I know. If you're smart, if you have triple digit, quadruple digit IQs like some of the people here at Drywall, you know what to do. You know who to ride with. If you want to be like, oh, Harry Hardwick, he's got a resume. Let's see what this guy's even done. Have I seen him? He doesn't seem familiar. Have I seen him in Contender Series? No. He's coming straight from Bellator. That's even worse. Yeah, I'm going to ride with that. Caio's, it sucks, but I mean, maybe lightweight does deserve like another Drywaller, and Caio, maybe he's like one fight away. But let's move on. Marcin Tybura against Ante Delija. Let's start off with Ante Delija. Let's take a look at Homeboy, because this is a bit of a prospect here. He's a little bit athletic, so I'm a little worried about Tybura. I think Tybura can smush him early. I don't know about his grappling, but from what I've seen about this Ante guy, I watched him in that tournament, and I was like, this guy kind of a dog, and he kept bringing it. But Tybura I think he's just going to be really big, and Tybura has really good grappling. The takedowns will also be there just because he's so big. He's not the best takedown guy. He's more of like a cage trip up, and he's not, with the hands, he might not back up Ante like that. But I want to say Tybura is the favorite here. Tybura minus 200. Let's pick him. Well, yeah, the Ante guy is a slight favorite. I'm going to go Marcin. I think that this Ante guy is a little bit of a tough guy too. doesn't like, from what I saw, was he fought with a lot of ego from that fight that I watched him, and I think that a guy like Marcin, who kind of is just such a gamer, such a pro, he can frustrate him, and then he might open him up for mistakes. And I do think that Marcin's, in terms of his specialty against Delia's specialty, which Delia is more just a well-rounded guy, like, I think Tiburiya gets him out. I think Tiburiya can tap him. Tiburiya can tap him in like the second. Because Marcin, he's so patient that he ends up actually kind of like not gassing that much. He, at least on the ground. But let's move on. Umar C taking on Brenson Rivera. Umar C recently was on a thumbnail. We rolled out the red carpet. We put a bug in all the journalists' ears, started spreading propaganda about him, and then he falls flat on his face. What an awful performance that was. And I get it. Menifield is like, he's been around. He's a journeyman. But C just seemed to have no response for the boxing and did not know. Yeah, like, hey, man, this guy's going to have to blitz you. Like, and I really think that ultimately what I saw came down to conditioning. He was not conditioned to use his long weapons because, hey, if the guy's going to blitz you, what you need to do is throw off the rhythm and constantly be putting output. It has to be varied and it has to be off rhythm so that the guy but it needs to always be blinding. Hands in the face, always hands in the face. It's just, I think he got compromised early by Menifield, and that was tough. But yeah, Umar C, not high on him right now. On the other side, Brenson Ribeiro climbing again. He came out against another guy that I rolled the red carpet out for, I think on the same card. That's what it was. My homeboy, DR. And then, everybody gets sparked by Azamat. They literally just gave him to Azamat because they needed Azamat to get that quick fight in before the suspension, which bullshit, by the way. But yeah, Brinson, I don't like him here. I'm hesitant to pick Umar C. What is Umar, like a minus 300? Yeah, minus 500. I'm very hesitant, but I am going to say, I'm very hesitant. Is Brenton Rivera going to be the like Drywall Contender Series prospect killer? Could be. And he's been sparked brutally. I just don't think, I don't know, Umar. It is France. Maybe he'll decision him. They'll give him a robbery. They need it. But yeah, not holding my breath. That's actually kind of crazy odds. It's kind of crazy odds for Brenson. Plus 370. Not bad. Let's move on. William Gomes taking on Robert Rushala. Another guy. I didn't do my homework on Robert. Just took a look at him. But I'm also not a William Gomes truther. I'm not very enamored by his game. I'm glad that Hyder Emil showed him levels after William Gomes completely heat checked Janderson Brito. Janderson was so close to being a drywaller. And now we know who he is. So I'll always hate William Gomes for that. I'll always hate him. But I'm going to pick him here. I'm sure he's a huge favorite. Minus 270. Yeah, I don't know. Let's look at this Robert Rushala guy. Let's do our little bit of homework together. He is Polish. Fuck. That might not be good. KSW. Oh, he's a kickboxer. Interesting. He is Polish, and it is a French guy. Nah, I just think William Gomes, ultimately he has a good MMA style. He's very accurate, which with the gloves, that's always gonna be a great. If we were to put like attributes up there in MMA, I think accuracy is one of those that people don't take into account too much. But like this guy lands a lot. His footwork's also very clean. He can look kind of slow, but he does seem to always sort of be just away from that from that danger zone. Maybe you can mix it up, kind of zap this Robert guy. He has that too. Like he's able to. What I've noticed from Gomes is he's unapologetic about finding ways to win, which I mean that's the drywall anthem. So I do like that. But let's move on. Oh, the Pitbull fight's nice. Pitbull against Lucena Keita, another new face in the UFC. Let's talk about Keita because I have watched this guy and man, what are we doing UFC? And there's a lot of fights on this card. Good for the Frenchies. God, can you imagine the smell in there? But dude, this guy is a dog. He just sparks people. He just sparks people so quick. He's very young as well, right? 27, just like learning on the job. Hard fight here. Hard fight against a Pitbull that we now know will mix things up to win. He can be a crafty veteran. Against Dan Ige, he pulled it out of the bag that way. But man, I'm going to ride with the speed. I'm going to ride with the speed, and I'm going to ride with the hype of this Lucena guy. I think maybe Pitbull's a little too tough still. I don't know, though. This kid could spark him, but I'm going to ride the hype train. What are the odds? I could see it being kind of closer, but I think the Lucena guy's like a minus 200, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, this is why we got to go to the coast. This is why we have to have Silicon Valley guys in and out of the office every fucking week just so we can get good internet. Did this fight fall through? Oh, did it fall through? Great. Did it fall through? This is why I post. This is why I post on Fridays. But whatever. Let's move on. Axel Sola against Rise McKee. I'm going to go Rise McKee. By decision, he could knock him out. What are the odds? Rise McKee by like minus 300. What the hell? Why do they always disrespect my boy Rise? Why do they disrespect my boy when it's like these dudes? Like, I get it. He's been a stud on the regional scene, like, but I don't know. I mean, the kid, I just think that the height advantage for Rise here, I mean, it is, he's bigger than it. But Rise is big, man. I think he's going to be, nah, this is another type of disrespect. I think this is disrespect again with Rise. What the fuck? I mean, he's not going to be the dog barking off the collar, but I say Rise decisions him. This guy, he's never tasted defeat, but I think Rise has shown that his striking is pretty good. He does know how to use his length. He knows how to even Muay Thai clinch guys pretty well. Like, he can wear on somebody. I think he will be a little big for this guy. I know that Axel is not the smallest cat, but whatever. Let's move on. Borralho taking on Mason Jones. This is another tough one. Borralho recently got his Drywall Contender Series, sort of title stripped. He was so close to joining the bigs. His life was going to be changed. His mom was never going to have to worry about the bills anymore. And just fell apart when he had to fight against Chris Duncan. And then my boy, and Mason Jones, man, after I watched him fight against Jeremy Stevens, that was way too close. But he is gritty as fuck. And I think that he kind of like didn't want to finish Jeremy. Like, watch that back and tell me like he almost like took it easy on him. Borralho is a specimen, but I think that this Jones guy has shown like there's definitely a weakness to Borralho, and he's very good with his footwork. He's very aware of like when the firefight's going on. Like, he's good at seeing shots, but I think a guy like Mason Jones could make it ugly. Is Borralho that favorite? Is Borralho like a minus 300? Am I just talking out my ass? No, Mason Jones is the favorite. I thought that Mason Jones. I don't think Mason Jones gets him out of there, though. I think we see a decision here. But yeah, I don't know if Borralho. I think Borralho needs. It's tough though. How do you? Because that's the dilemma that in other sports you don't really have as much. It's like how do you heighten intensity without getting hurt in this sport? I mean, American football is a good example. It's like it's kind of difficult in American football as well. Like padded days, thing of a past, candy ass league. But like, yeah, to ask Oki to be more bloodthirsty and perhaps also more tough. It's tough. It's like one of those mysteries in fighting, I believe, that you don't really know how to build that out. Like unless have the guy get into some firefights in the gym. And I just don't think he's ready for that against Mason. Mason's also big. Like Mason's pretty big for 155. And I think Borralho sometimes will kind of mog dudes with his frame. And I don't think that's going to happen here. And Mason Jones isn't mincemeat, with his boxing, as we saw against Jeremy Stephens. That was a great fight. So yeah, let's move on. Modestas Bukauskas taking on Paul Craig. This is an interesting fight. I think Paul Craig's trying to do the whole, like, I'm going to move up a weight class and it's going to be to my advantage. And I'm like, I think that there's a caveat to that where it's like you have to first have been like athletic, like one of the more athletic guys. You had to be at least athletic in your own weight class. Like, and Paul Craig, it wasn't like, oh, wow, like Paul Craig, phenom of the sport in terms of his athleticism. So, this is tough. Paul Craig, hasn't he already? Oh, yeah, he had the Kyle Borralho where he did knock out, not Kyle Borralho. What's his name? Oh, my God. How am I forgetting it? It's because he, like, faked it. He looks like Kyle Borralho. And is he even in the UFC anymore? Or did he get cut right after that? Benito, what was his name? What? Not Modestas, my bad. Clicked on Modestas. Oh, Beato, my bad. See, memory, we need the Neuralink. Elon hit me up. But yeah, I think Paul Craig even showed in that fight, like, dude, you're not a 205er. Like that dude, Beato, who is like what I'm saying, like a baseline athletic dude, a little, if not a little bit higher, because he's big for 205, I believe. Like, dude, you were getting thrown around. He was going to lose that fight until the upkick. Like, the upkick was lucky, and Beato made a mess of it. Anyways, let's move on. Benoit Saint-Denis taking on Mauricio Ruffi. This is going to be a great fight. I think people are underestimating Benoit Saint-Denis. Think that they see that, they remember that Dustin loss and then Moicano doing him in dirty like that. But, like, Benoit Saint-Denis is still a nasty man. Benoit Saint-Denis is still a very nasty man. He's still got a very well-rounded game plan, which I think is an issue for a guy like Ruffi, because Ruffi is all quick twitch, explosive, creative. Like, hey, man, if you got a body lock on you, or you get actually smushed up against a cage, which that's not that hard to do. Like, that can happen just in any blitz on any given day. Like, I don't know if Mauricio Ruffi has experienced that, and I don't know if he can deal with it. I am going to still go with Ruffi because I just think that, like I said, accuracy is very important, and Mauricio Ruffi, I think, is probably the most accurate striker in the UFC, because you look at the variety of strikes that he throws and just his arsenal and the effectiveness that he has, and it's wild. So, yeah, Ruffi is awesome, so I'm going to go with him. What are the odds? I think that he's probably getting a little bit too much hype. He's probably like a minus 250. Oh, yeah, Modestas is a minus 325. That's fine. Mauricio minus 168. I'm going to stick with Caillou. Damn, I still don't know what our last bet is going to be. But yeah, I'm going to go with. I just don't know if he knocks him out. I always see a lot of decisions. That's always my sort of my calling card is that I can sort of predict who's going to win, but it's hard for me to see some of these finishes sometimes with the knockouts. But yeah, I think Rufi is just going to be able to find him, and I think that Benoit has shown that if he does get compromised, he can sort of start slowing down. He loses like half his testosterone. Let's move on. Nasruddin Imavov taking on Caio Borralho. I'm not too excited about this fight. I think that this is like water and oil. It's not a great stylistic setup. You have a guy like Imavov who's a good boxer, but seems to work on the outside. He's still an outside fighter, even though he'll have like a big frame on. I mean, which makes sense. Yeah, he'll be an outside fighter and he'll work. He's kind of a pick and prod guy. On the other side, Borralho is like just more of like he's starting to invest in his striking, and you would think that is like the game plan, but then he kind of is he doesn't use that much pressure. I just don't feel like Borralho ever really like Borralho is also kind of like a counter striker type guy. And then he of course uses his jiu-jitsu, but he doesn't, in my eyes, I don't think he has that great of takedowns. He's not that great at wrestling. Like he can sort of hurt guys and then go down there. I feel like that's how he gets things to go down there. Or cracking them down up against the cage. But good luck against Nasruddin. And so I do think Nasruddin wins this fight. I think it's another decision. I'm just seeing decisions all over the place. But I think Nasruddin, if you think about that stylistic combination, I think that although Borralho is not a true counter striker, yeah, because Borralho isn't a true counter striker, I feel like he will get antsy if it is low output. That's how I see it going. Is Borralho's going to go and he's going to be chasing Imavov, and it's just going to become an Imavov fight. And then Borralho's going to try to get the takedowns, and it's going to be like that's an Imavov fight. He's just going to get up. Borralho just doesn't have the boxing. And he might even take him down, and he might even give him some issues. But I just don't think Imavov, since he isn't a super powerful guy, yeah, I know he got the Izzy knockout, whatever. Like, since he's not that powerful of a guy, he is more of a like output dude. So Borralho maybe zapping him isn't gonna happen. Like it's gonna be like, oh, I thought that I could take some of his pop out of his shots, and it's like, oh no, he's still here. What do I think is gonna? I think Imavov is gonna get the decision, but what do I think about our last bet, our ass shaker moneymaker? This is the one that's gonna get you into the VIP room with the go-go girls, the lights. What do I see? Give me something here. Like something crazy. Yeah, I wonder what Sampage submission is. Oh, give me that. Sam Hughes to win by submission, plus 750. Ass shaker moneymaker. I'm ready to strip down right now. It's amazing. It's a simple bet. Let's go through them one more time. Sam Hughes is going to be your greater value, better choice. A little bit of a steep value here at minus 340, but you'll see why. That's just a weird discrepancy, though. Plus 750 with the submission. Anyways, next up is going to be your dog barking off the collar. That's going to be Trey Waters. That is actually no, that's our Honey clear out the bank account. Honey clear out the bank account bet of the week. Trey Waters plus 160. Insane value. Next, we have Caio Fernandez. He's going to be your greater value. No, I don't want him as greater value, better choice. Well, actually, I guess that we have the dog barking off the collar bet this week is Trey Waters as well, but it's also the Honey clear out the bank account bet of the week. I mean, this is just going to be a very special bet. Maybe I'll look like an idiot. Maybe I'll look like an idiot and then we can all laugh. Because, you know, I got all the money in the world. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I lose a little bit. And then, yeah, your ass shaker moneymaker is going to be Sam Page Hughes by submission. There you have it. Drywall or shot callers and everyone in between. Don't you ever forget, we are the big train that never stops. And do as you're told. Like, comment, subscribe.